game that stands out for me during that period of time, and it was the Celtic Aberdeen game when they beat them 5-0. It was the debut of Jorge Cadete. It was the first time we'd seen him in the hoops. And I went to Celtic Park that day with my uncle, and I remember sitting there to see Van Hooijdonk. He was the hero. He was my superstar at the time. And, you know, that was probably one of the best games to this day that I've ever seen. Tosh, as much as you slag him, Tosh played a worldie that day. He was a 12. He was outstanding.
Do remember, Paddy, but do remember, I believe it was yourself, was it not, Peter, that plays the defence splitting pass through to Jorge Cadete for that goal?
Yeah, it was. That was my claim to fame. I tried to pass it somewhere else, obviously. No, but that particular game, if you remember, it was one of the games where every player was above an 8.
Yeah.
And that's, you very, very rarely get that in a game. You'll always have one off or a couple of these off or whatever. And that happens. But in that particular night, because I think it was the first...
I remember sitting watching an STV. You very rarely get a game on STV either.
I think it was STV's first live game. That's what I was going to say. Ever. That was their first live game ever. I'm not even sure if it was a Monday night or something. It was bizarre. And we knocked the airwaves off of BBC Radio 5 Live. Get knocked off air that night with the roar of the Celtic supporters when Jorge Cadete scored. Because I remember George wasn't able to play for 5 games. The SFA had held up, I think it was Jim Farry at that particular time.
The ultimate price.
Some paperwork hadn't come through. 5 games they held him up for. And remember, we just lost out in the league, obviously. You know, but they were saying there's no doubt again, because with so many draws, George had that instinct to score. And there is no doubt in my mind we'd have won the league that year.
And you saw the difference as well.